I mean, it's amazing. I'm a huge Disney fan by myself, so being able to be a part of this is great. You know, it's fantastic. And I got to watch both Frozen and Frozen 2, the movies, with all of my nieces, and they love it. So I can't wait for them to come up and see it too. Like 3 or 4 weeks, but you know, for me, I'm used to being kind of put into things quickly. I've done a lot of you know, readings and things like that. So you kind of, as an artist, you have to be quick with it. It was interesting though, our rehearsals were kind of broken up throughout the day at different places with different groups of people because we were integrating all these new changes from the tour. So it has its pros and cons, you know. I think the biggest pro though to being able to put in all these new changes is that it's fresh. You know, they've been running for 2 years. So we're coming in and we're getting to work intimately with the rest of the cast. So it's not just me and Mackenzie and Ryan, who are the 3 new leads, coming in and not knowing anybody. We actually got to work with everybody. So it's been great. It's definitely been a whirlwind, and it's definitely been a hard couple of weeks for all the rest of the cast who's been doing rehearsals plus shows, 8 shows a week. So I have an interesting family. Some of my siblings are chosen siblings, and some of them are blood relation. So I grew up with my older brother, but I also, so half of my life grew up with a god sister, who, you know, I count as one of my real sisters, and our relationship has grown and been very beautiful and sometimes trying, but mostly beautiful. And I also have another sister who's a half sister who I didn't know for a good chunk of my life. And then we kind of got reintroduced to each other a couple of years ago. And it's sort of been a lot like Anna and Elsa, not having spoken for so long and then having to learn this new person, but also feeling this connection, this deep connection with them, but also not really knowing them super well, you know? So we push each other's buttons a lot, but there's a lot of love, and our relationship has grown a lot. I've been very blessed in my career, definitely. When I first moved to the city in 2013, I booked 3 Broadway shows at once within like 2 months of being there, which is amazing. A lot like Mackenzie's story, actually. And I've been very lucky to work pretty consistently since then. But I've also done a wide range of different roles and been a part of really big productions and really small productions. I actually just got done doing an off-Broadway show called The Wrong Man at MCC Theater last fall, which was like a very contemporary, edgy, pop and rock and R&B style show, and there's 9 of us or 10 of us all together on stage for the entire show. And then you go to something like Frozen, it's a huge production. There's 100 people in the building at one time, working backstage, working on stage. And there's so many moving parts and pieces, and there's a lot of energy, and there's shiny dresses. Oh my gosh, the most inspiring? I don't know if I could pick just one. I mean, I feel like I've actually been learning so much this Black History Month. I've started following some really cool pages on like Instagram and Twitter. It's one of the great things about social media is that all of a sudden there's so much information being put out in front of you if you're following the right people. And a lot of the people that I follow have been posting, you know, just things about Black history that you wouldn't necessarily be taught in a regular school curriculum here in America, things that I certainly did not learn growing up. So, you know, it's fabulous to hear about all of the contributions that Black people have added and contributed to American history in general. To pick one person that's influenced me the most or that I look up to the most, I mean, Eartha Kitt Josephine Baker, Ella Fitzgerald. They were all performers, but more than that, they were civil rights activists. Josephine Baker was a spy during the war. I mean, they were incredible women, right? I mean, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Huey, there are so many people. Sarah Jones, yeah. So I got asked to write a little blurb about someone in my industry that had really influenced me. And I went and saw a show called Sell by Date, and by is B-U-I. And it's by Sarah Jones, and she is just a phenomenal actress. I mean, better than anyone I've maybe ever seen live. And a phenomenal writer, very intelligent. She wrote a piece about sex work, written from the perspective of the future. And just, I was so moved for that work. I actually wrote her. I wrote her this long, effusive message just saying how amazing I thought she was and how incredible it is to now see people of color and mixed people as well, since I'm mixed, to see mixed people and mixed women making their own art, and for it to be so amazing. It was so inspiring to me. This show, this movie, this movement of Frozen, it's so huge, and I think it's touched a lot of people's hearts for any number of reasons. Yes, it's about sister connections, but it's about family, and it's about love, and how love will conquer fear and can conquer fear in any situation, which I think everybody understands, especially in the world that we live in today. I think coming from a hopeful place and wanting to feel love is a beautiful thing, and experience love is a beautiful thing. So being able to tell that kind of story every night, I think, is so important right now. And to every person, young person, old person, whoever of color who comes to see this show, I hope that my presence and all the presence of the people of color in this very diverse show we have here, that they can see themselves in any role, and know that they are allowed to be anywhere and that they are valued everywhere.